Welcome to episode 4 of the Not Your Average Sports Show, a podcast that goes beyond the realm of traditional journalism. In this fourth episode, we will be giving our own rankings on the best college sports towns, as well as the best sports video games. Once fourth, I am Dom Campanaro, student at the St. Joseph's Preparatory School for Boys in North Philadelphia. And now, today's guest is the co-founder of Carroll Sports Media, an avid video game player, and the true king of Ridley. And unfortunately, he does have more sports knowledge than I do. And if I had to start a GoFundMe, it might be to generate money for him to transfer to the prep. But for now, it's Carroll's very own Nick Mastripolito. Welcome to the show, Nick.
Thank you. Thank you, Dom. I appreciate it, buddy.
So, obviously, the theme this whole week is going to be Carroll Sports Media Week. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see. And, I mean, obviously, great to have you on the show. We'll also have Mike Livingston in a few days. But for now, we'll start off with Nick Mash. We'll start off with you. With your own, you played for the Flyers. You can see by the jersey behind him for 25. But anyway, today, Nick, I wanted to bring out the video game aspect of you. I know you're a video game guy.
Yeah.
We'll give our top 10 best sports video games. So we have a few rules that we had. So it can't be a whole series. So it's only one individual game in said series. So it can't be all of Madden. It can't be all of MLB The Show. One specific game out of all of them. And it must be played on a console. So we're not allowing VR or anything like that. So obviously it's pretty lenient, but it's room for anything you want. And obviously, Nick, you're going to be my guest today. So I'll let you go off with number 10.
Thank you.
10 to 9. We'll go back and forth.
Yep.
So.
At my 10, I have NBA 2K20. Right? The park was fabulous. Loved the trampolines. It was just an absolute fabulous game. Anthony Davis graced the cover of that one. And it was a lot of fun during quarantine as well to just have tons of fun with that one.
Yeah, I mean, 2K20, yeah, not much to say. And that's also my 10 as well, It was just the first 2K game I really got involved to was 2K20. I thought it was cool playing around. I'm not really the biggest NBA 2K guy. I think there's better, but I enjoyed playing, with all the players, practice mode. I think it was a fun game. It was a fun game. It was good to play. I don't think blacktop was a thing then, was it? Or am I wrong?
It might have been. I believe it was.
So that was probably the redeeming quality of it. But, it's a good game. It's a very good game. Obviously, all these games are really good. I mean, if I had to have my top 10, I could move it around either way. I think all these games are just incredible. But, yeah, 2K20, I concur. So do you. So
Absolutely.
We'll go on to number 9. What do you have there, Nick?
College football 25.
Ooh.
It might be a little low for some people, but this is the first college football game we've had in a while. It's a great game. It featured some of the best athletes, in the college realm, obviously. It's a fun game to play with you, Dom, and really just enjoyable. These guys get to see themselves, in a video game. You get to use all the teams, and really just they brought back every single mode from the previous ones. Fabulous game here.
I mean, college football, not much to say about that. Again, you're right. It was a long time coming for it. I do have it on my list. So, obviously, I'll probably touch back base on that later. But, no, college football, great game to play with. Great to play with Nick as well. You have, 2 games on me?
I do, yeah.
All right. Whatever. Anyway, my number 9. So, we're going to change gears again. Different sport now. I'm taking the best MLB The Show game out there. MLB The Show 21. The cover with Fernando Tatis on there. I just thought they had the best Diamond Dynasty cards I've ever had. So that was awesome. It was the first game as well that introduced cross-platform play. I love that. I think every single game should have that. I think that's just a great installment to PS5, being able to play with Xbox and that. I spent hours on this game. Road to the Show is also incredible. I just thought that it was just incredible. I just thought it was a lot of fun. Great game to play. Just spent hours on it. Absolutely spent hours on it. But, yeah, great number 9s. And
absolutely.
Real quick, I want to get comment from Anthony Sorgi. College basketball 27. I mean, here's
I
my
would love
take
that.
on. Yeah, I think my take is if college basketball came out, it would be so much better than college football. I think it'd be so much better.
Really?
I thought they would do great with March Madness and stuff. That would be
Yeah.
incredible. I think that would be like the best game. But obviously, there's so many teams for college basketball. It's probably more than college football, so that might be a factor into why it might not happen. But college basketball would be an incredible game. Absolutely. You're gonna
Definitely.
take there, Sorgy.
That is a good take there, Sorge.
Another Ridley guy. We already saw him on the show. Now we got the other one who's I crown the true king. I mean, he's been there longer. No
I have.
offense.
Sorry, Sorge.
We got rivalries going everywhere. That's the issue. All right, well, you go here number 8. See what number 8 is for you.
MLB 21. I just bumped it up a spot. It's a classic. It's the best MLB The Show game ever, probably. And if I'm not mistaken, this was the first time that Xbox users were allowed to play MLB on that console. Fernando Tatis was on the cover. Fabulous game. Road to the Show was great. Diamond Dynasty was great. This game had everything that you're looking for in a quality video game, especially an MLB game. Just tons of fun. I think it paved the way for MLB The Show over the past couple of years as they've continued to grow.
Yeah, and again, you're right. I actually didn't realize that. It was the first Xbox game that was out there.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, really, you're right. Great game as well. I mean, I didn't mention the soundtrack, too. It was really good. I think that's another very big redeeming quality of the game. But, yeah, I mean, I think the one aspect of it is, like, there's part nostalgia in putting it on here, and there's part, like, quality in the game. And I think MLB The Show satisfies both, honestly. So, yeah, very good pick there. Obviously, I had to move it up. I had mine at 9. Mine number 8. Now, it might be a bit controversial for the console it's on, but it's still a console nonetheless. So I have a 3DS game on here, and I put Mario Sports Superstars on there. And I think it's a sport game, obviously.
Yep,
I think that
absolutely.
This was a game that just incredible to play with. They had multiple game modes. There was golf, there was baseball, there was tennis, there was like everything all in there. And I think they had basketball as well, I think. I'm not sure though, but I mean, talk about like you got the Nintendo characters. That's always just a blast, especially when talk about the nostalgia aspect of it. This has got it, and variety as well. That's why I have it so high on my list. I think that 8's the perfect spot for it. I still have some more Nintendo games coming up, but that's one of them so far. I think that's a good spot for number 8.
It's a good game. Anytime you can get Mario in there.
Yes, and you'll see Mario once more on my list soon, but I won't spoil anymore, Nick. You can get to your number 7 if you want.
NBA Live 19.
I never played it.
This had Joel Embiid on the cover, and I feel that anytime you can consistently hit full court shots like it's nothing and just have a blast, that's a great video game, right? This was just like 2K was out. Everybody was playing 2K, but this came out, it was free on PS Plus 1 month, and me and my buddies would play it, and it's just tons of fun because it's just like a 2K ripoff. It's just like you're having tons of fun with this game.
I mean, I didn't play 19. I did play 16. And everyone, Russell Westbrook was on the cover. I did play that game. But, the thing was with Live, I thought that it was a different style of game than what 2K was. Yep. One, it's different. Obviously, it's 2K is owned by someone else versus what Live is EA Sports. And I think that the graphics were better on EA Sports. I thought that was just better. I mean, it was fun to play it on the graphics on the phone as well.
The graphics on NBA Live were not good, but I think that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, I think also they had it on mobile as well, NBA Live, and I thought that was probably one of my favorite games I've ever played on mobile. I thought that was just very pleasing game to play with. Incredible teams to build as well. good storylines and everything. That was fun. Yeah, that's another good number 7. I didn't put live. I have live on here. It's probably an honorable mention for me. I mean, obviously, there's so many games. I just can't. There's so many I'd rather play, I think. So that's why I had to bump it out. But obviously, incredible game there. But all right, so I said Mario would be not a one-time show, Pony. It's not. We're gonna see it once again here. Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games
There
on the
you
Wii.
go.
I played it on the Wii when I got it. It's one of the best Wii games out there, And the thing that I liked so much is that it wasn't just Nintendo doing everything. We had Nintendo, we had Sega, combined with like all the sports of the Olympics, just creates an incredible show. I think that that's what made it incredible, is that like you were able to do like jousting, equestrian, swimming. I know Nick's a big swimming guy, obviously, but I just thought it was incredible to play with all of these characters, all this nostalgia here as well. And I thought that Sega and Nintendo, just the combination of that was just incredible. I thought that was just great. I love playing with the Sonic characters. I love playing with Mario, obviously, just the London theme as well. London was like the perfect spot for the 2012 Olympics in real life and in the video game as well. They themed it beautifully. Everything was like themed to that British-esque style, but it's just incredibly done. And I think Nintendo did a great job with it. Really, really do.
Absolutely. Moving on to number 6.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, number 6 for you, Nick.
NHL 19. This was
the cover for that one. Yeah.
PK Subban.
Oh, okay.
And I believe this was my first, maybe my second NHL game. And most will say, if you go online, I'd say a decent amount of people say that this is the best game that NHL has come out with, or EA Sports has come out with in a very long time. Very recently, one of the best games. It had everything that you were looking for. It kept the same, mold as the other games, but it just had a different touch to it. I don't know whether it was the soundtrack or whether it was the game mode or whether it was the mechanics, but this game just felt special and it was tons of fun.
All right. I don't know if I bought the game and didn't play it. Yeah, PK Subban when he was on the Nashville Predators, obviously. That was, yep. I don't know how many more years he played after that, but Subban, obviously, a great character for her, great pose on the cover as well. And I think that's where you'll see a lot of these video games as well, is where, like, the cover also changed as well. It went from being normally, like, a basic graphic into something more exciting. And you'll probably get to see that as we go on with the newer games into, like, the 20s and stuff. Like, the 2010s weren't obviously, like, or like the transition of the 2000s more or less, but going from 2010 to 2020s, that's where you'll really start seeing big cover changes. And I think that's where it kind of like it's like you think it's going to lose nostalgia, but it somehow retains at the same time with just how incredible it was to play it. So,
yep,
yeah, NHL 19, great game. Obviously, EA just knows how to make a good game as well. So
after that, kind of went downhill.
You're right. I'll say NHL 24 was fun as well, but I think it went too big in a sense. I think Chell is fun to play. I love playing Chell, but
yep.
NHL Stars is a fun game as well with the 3v3s and stuff, or NHL. I don't know, it's called now or something like that. I haven't played it in a minute, but I love playing with AHL teams. I play like seasons with like the Hershey Bears and stuff. That's always fun, but not a very good game for NHL. And I do have an NHL on there, and I don't want to spoil it anymore, but we'll get to it. This is in my top 5 though.
Yep.
So we'll go to 6 for me. So I have my first and only FIFA game on here. Obviously FIFA might be one of the most difficult games to play alone. A lot of people say. But this one I thought it was just my favorite because of nostalgia. I have FIFA 17. Marco Reus was of Borussia Dortmund was on here. So
Yep.
I mean, obviously a great cover there, and I played on the Switch. I think that's when I had the Switch for a while. Switch came out 2016, 2017 time. But it was probably the first game that I really spent a lot of time playing with. I had the one with Messi on the cover. I don't know what that one was, but FIFA obviously made a turn for the worse. Now you have like FC and stuff, and that's just a lot different than what we used to grow up with. So I still FIFA 17, great. Ultimate Team was a fun game to play with. Obviously they had all the teams you can imagine. They had great gameplay, great software, and yeah, I just spent so much time playing this as well. So great game for the Switch, great game for FIFA in my opinion, but it's very, very
Definitely.
good all around. All right, so
All right.
we're halfway now next, so this is
Yeah,
where we get the heavy hitters now. So
definitely.
start off with your number 5.
My number 5, NFL Blitz for the N64 and a classic arcade game. I mean, as I just said, a very classic arcade game, and it really put the NFL on the map for these sort of games. It was a heavy hitting game that had so many different mechanics that could happen in different scenarios, and you didn't know what was going to happen next. And it might not have been realistic, but it was tons of fun. And Cordell Stewart was on the cover of that one, and it was just overall a fabulous game. That, I mean, if you're walking into an arcade, you're going to a sports game, I have to assume, and I'm usually choosing NFL Blitz or the next game I have up, and definitely this game's fabulous. You can also play it on the N64. As somebody who owns an N64, it's just a great game. I mean, nothing more to say there.
Yeah, I don't think I played. I don't think I played that game.
Really?
Blitz, but no, I know I'm old, but I'm not that old. But no, Blitz is a great game. I've seen a lot of stuff about Blitz. Obviously, the covers were fun.
Yep.
Obviously, you can tell the gameplay was a bit funky, but that's what made it special with being like that old, of like the 2000s games where it was like, all right, we're making it like you could have it in the arcade as well as at home, and that really is what bolsters sales. But now, nowadays, when there's not as much when arcades are probably dying down lately, you don't see it as much. But no, Blitz, obviously a great game, obviously loved by the public. But yeah, no, Blitz is a good game. Good for number 5 as well. I don't know if that would be any higher on your list because again, all these heavy hitters. Am I wrong?
Yeah, there's a lot, and I don't think that would be higher on my list, but I think it's going to stay there.
All right. And I said earlier that I'd have an NHL game in my top 5, and we're going to hit it right now. It was the first one I ever had, NHL 15. And it was as if EA hired NBC to do all the score bugs and everything, and do all like the announcing. And that's what made it special. Patrice Bergeron was on the cover when he was on the Boston Bruins.
Yep.
But I just thought that this game's just great. Very nostalgic game. I can't stop saying the score, but that was awesome. You get, again, NHL, you have to play with AHL squads. That's always fun to play with. I always played with the Bears. I played with the Phantoms. But that was always incredible, and just NHL is sometimes not really so well received. But, I just think this one, you got to add it. It's hard not to add it. It's such an incredible game, and I can't go any further without mentioning like the game I started growing up with on the Xbox, and I just thought it was a good spot number 5. It can't go any higher because the games I have down below, I think, are just too good. But yeah, 2 great games for number 5. Time for number 4, Nick. What do you have?
I have another classic arcade game, and you might think, Nick, there's no arcades anymore. That's not true. It's not here in Ridley, but it's around here. There is an arcade that you can go and see these games. This is another GOAT arcade game, NBA Jam.
I didn't play it either, I don't think, but
Dom, what are we doing?
I don't know.
NBA Jam is just it's a classic. You're playing tons of fun with all the NBA teams. Once again, sort of like Blitz, anything can happen. The mechanics are a little funky, the graphics are a little funky. A classic arcade game, everything that you want. Keith Van Horn was on the cover. They made like guys overpowered. Like it's fabulous. Great game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think that I didn't play, but I've always heard about it. I was never really the biggest NBA guy. I thought of all the leagues, I was probably lower on it. I was always like more like football and hockey. And I really got interested in MLB The Show. That's always great to play, but never that much of an NBA guy. I don't know if it's just like they don't sell it that well or what. But that's how I feel about the game. But no, NBA Jam, obviously, everyone loves it. I mean, everyone loved it for how nostalgic it was, and that's really why it's on there for you, I assume, too. But
absolutely,
yeah, I don't know if there's any arcades, or I mean, maybe down the shore they'll probably have it, but I don't think
there is actually one around the Ridley area. So
really,
yeah. And I went there with my father, and they had all these games, and it's really fabulous.
Would they charge you like 5 cents to play it, or?
Yeah, it's like you can get like 2 hours of playtime for like $10-$20, and you just get like unlimited playtime. You can just do whatever, like play any of the games.
There you go. You have a summer activity to beat the heat. I hope they have an AC there. It's not broken.
I think so. I don't know.
You can always go into the pool.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's, again, great number 4 there. This one, I know when I showed you it, you were kind of, like, confused why I had it here. Mm-hmm. I put Rocket League on here. But
I was so confused.
I said that before Epic Games bought it, and I just thought that, I mean, I paid $20 when the game came out. I remember when I bought it, I was like, yeah, I'm getting this game. And obviously now it's free, but it was $20 before when I forgot who owns it, but I think it's out of my head.
I think there's always games that, like, back when we were like just starting video games, we would always buy the disc for. I remember, like, I know this isn't a sports video game, but free games like Fortnite, I bought the disc for. And Rocket League, I can vividly remember going and buying the disc with my grandmother. But I just feel like I can't have that on my list because it just makes me upset. It's just like so annoying to me. I can't do it.
I just think that, I mean, yeah, it does get like pretty crazy at some points. I think that the game modes are just fun though. I think.
Oh yeah.
Because if you get bored one game mode, you always have other ones. Like you got Heat Seeker, you got hockey, you got so many games, but it really is just fun to play with. Honestly,
the superpower game mode. I mean, you're right. Definitely before it got bought out by Epic Games, it was a way better game than it is now. But I don't know if it can rebuild up its reputation.
Yeah. I want to see what should I ask Sorgy again. I'm sorry we're still on video games. Yeah, There's a lot to cover. We have 10 each, so and you think about that. You got the speaking time as well, but I'm sorry, Rocket League is just a game we got to add on here, Sorgy. I apologize, but my next few games, I think a lot of people will agree on it, but I'll let you go to number 3.
I think the top 3, everybody will most likely agree. My number 3, Madden 20. I think just looking at these games, it brought back memories, and I can remember my dad and I actually pre-ordered the game and went and picked it up at GameStop before GameStop, has just fallen off at this point. Mm-hmm. And it was I guess it was technically like a midnight release thing. And I remember getting home, downloading it, watching the bar go down, and then getting on and being like, oh, I'm going into the draft or whatever it was. It introduced the best game mode, probably in Madden history at the time, of Superstar KO, that had so many fun players. And, it had that legendary Snoop Dogg. It had Ed Reed. It had some of the best players. And I guess it's, career mode or whatever, was also very good. This is just an overall great game.
I do have it on my list as well. So I don't want to touch base on it. We'll get to it really shortly, but now that was it's by far the best Madden game ever made. Yeah, Superstar KO is probably the best game mode Madden has ever created as well. But yeah, so 3 for me. You already mentioned it like right away. College football 25. I mean, I just have it so high on here just because everyone was talking about how everyone was so excited for it. It's like we haven't had a college football game in it feels like years, and I think that one of the biggest questions I had was how EA was going to do it. Like normally your downloads take forever on EA, and I was like, all right, this might be like a 15-minute download. And it probably took like 15, 20 minutes. And I was like, all right, this is already going to be a great game. And I thought at first, I'd be like, maybe there's not going to be a lot of game modes, but I think it's kind of hard to get bored in this game, honestly. I do think as the one like redeeming quality of Madden, I'd say Superstar KO is probably what I wish was on college football. I think that would be awesome.
Oh, that would be fabulous.
I mean, even like if you had old time players too, you would play like Barry Sanders or guys like that. I mean, Barry Sanders would probably be broken, but
if I'm not mistaken, I think it might have also been Madden 20 had the all-time college teams that you could play with.
Yeah,
like
they had
LSU
Alabama.
had OBJ.
Yeah.
I believe that was also Madden 20.
Yeah, I do remember that as well because they had Alabama. They were marketing Julio Jones, Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, and they had Georgia as well. It was like pick your side. Obviously, this is pre AA college football, but obviously now they have like the package deal going on. So hopefully the next college football will be just as good. I mean, with where the stealing is right now, I hope they just keep on going through. Obviously, on your cover, you had Travis Hunter, Donovan Edwards, and Quinn Ewers, but no, what a great game it was. But yeah, I think it's very solid for 3, and we're getting into the even more heavy hitters now, Nick. 2 and 1. Start with 2, obviously.
I apologize for not mentioning the cover athlete for Madden 20. I guess I'll leave that to you now.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to do that. But I'll hit on my number 2. Backyard baseball.
Pablo Sanchez.
Started on the Mac, the OG, and then moved on to the Wii and into the PlayStation. Pablo Sanchez is probably the greatest fictional athlete ever. And this is just a great game, just like a little baseball game full of backyard athletes, and this started a brand, a franchise, and it just took off by storm. And I think it's a valid number 2.
I think I was saying before, if I don't remember playing it, I think I did play it, and yeah, it is horror. You're right. You can't put into any better words than that. But I mean, yeah, just Pablo Sanchez, just all that. I mean, it did take forever to round the bases, which I didn't like, but everything else was fun. It was always fun to hit. That's probably the easiest thing. Pitching was probably the hardest thing in fielding because you run so slow. But hitting, I mean, that's your powerhouse. You better put up like 30 runs because you see like a fastball coming like so slow. It's like, yeah, you better like knock this one out of there. But Pablo Sanchez, obviously, just incredible, absolutely incredible. But very good number 2. I mean, you're right. I'm gonna bring it up again. Obviously, the best Madden game ever. NFL 20 is my number 2. Back Patrick Mahomes on the cover. I know we can't really say much about him. Tough year for that guy, but Mutt was great as well. They had great cards. I think it was just some of the best gameplay you ever had in Madden, and that's why it's just such a high-quality game. And I also think they didn't overhype it. I think people were going in like, this is going to make a really solid game. It's going to be your basic Madden game after 19 and 18. And, it's like, all right, it's a basic game. They introduced KO and stuff, and it's like, all right, it's just leveled up a lot. And I think that's really it was like, all right, well, EA might be changing stuff, so that was like a really good thing. I mean, obviously now, I might get Madden now because Saquon's on it, but I never saw the appeal to get Madden because it's just the same game now. There's nothing different. KO is probably the only game I'd play, but
they ruined KO though. I feel.
How so? Like what? How so? Like just like how?
It's just like not the same. As far as I know, it just like isn't what it used to be.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we just had different opinions, obviously. But no, I just think KO is still fun. I kind of wish I went back to 2020. Not with COVID and everything, just went back to be playing that game on my Xbox. But that was a great game. Absolutely great game there. But yeah, all right. Well, here we go now. We're at number 1 finally. I'm sorry, Anthony.
And
30 minutes through it, but
yeah, I think we have the same number 1.
And I think we do as well.
So I think both of our number 1. Well, I'll say mine, and then I think it's yours. Wii Sports.
Yep.
On the Wii.
You, right?
I mean, it's just such a classic game. It brings people together. Overall, just such a fun game. And I guess overall, it's the GOAT.
And I'll tell you what I love about it so much is that, I mean, it came with your purchase of the Wii. I thought that was awesome. Like, it was already slipped in there. You pull it out, like, oh, we got a game here. And, you want to talk about just how much fun it was. I mean, boxing's awesome. That's always a great game. Baseball's always fun. I think the hardest one's golf. That's the one which
that one's really difficult.
I don't know how it works. Well, I know it's like
you really gotta you really gotta,
It's all about the finesse, about the motion.
Tennis, you can go in line. Like I know I go and I play with my friends. You just go in a line and try to complete every single game and see who can win. Start with tennis or whatever, and then bowling, and you throw it back. Awesome. Everybody jumps in a circle.
that was always fun to do. Yeah, no, and then that was the first one that had the 100-pin bowling before Wii Sports Resort. I just think Wii Sports Resort doesn't match it. Maybe basketball Wii Sports is better, but I think bowling's better with Wii Sports. Just everything around Wii Sports was great, and it's great that it came with your deal. I have it in my room. I always occasionally bust out the Wii, and I'll go right to Wii Sports. I don't go to Mario Kart, go to Wii Sports. I just think it's that much fun. But
the worst thing ever.
Great game.
The worst thing ever happened to my Wii.
Did it break?
It just broke.
Yeah, I thought mine broke, and that's why I got an Xbox. And then 5 years later, I'm like, my Wii works. Yeah. And I'm able to play it. I'm trying not to overuse it so it doesn't explode. But
I know, I was just this is so unfortunate. So I guess it broke in 2018, and I sold it for some Fortnite V-Bucks. Because that was really that was in. That was the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that was when Fortnite was peak. I had a bunch of good games on there, but obviously Fortnite's not a sport video game, but always a fun game to play at. But yeah, that's always fun. That is always fun. But with that, I think we're going to take a bit of a segue before we get into our college sports towns. I wanted to talk to you about Carroll Sports and Media. Obviously, I want you to introduce your brand that you just started up. Obviously, it's a big deal to do that. So, it was you and Mike Livingston. How did that all start off?
Well, thank you, Dom. How did I meet Livingston? Is that what you're really?
How did you start? Why? Who came up with the idea, and why? Why did you think of starting it a broadcasting thing at Carroll?
So the first time I met Michael, I proposed the idea of, he asked me what I was interested in, and I told him I was interested in the broadcasting aspect of things. And that was also something that he had been wanting to do at Carroll for a little while, but had never really been able to get it up and running at that point. So I guess sort of towards the beginning of the year, we made Carroll Sports Media, following, I guess not following the unfortunate deletion of Patriot Pastimes, which is unfortunate. But he made Carroll Sports Media, so I guess we'll technically call him the founder, made the logo and generated the name. And from there on, we were just a writing club. We were there to write for the Carroll Times newspaper, and we had little credentials that we would use to go to the games, and we would ride up to the games together, and it's kind of started an inseparable bond. sort of at the middle of the year, we really wanted to start up the broadcasting. So he set up the YouTube channel, and we had you know, I guess it's fitting we're doing the video game segment. We had a video game headset and
Yeah.
like just a normal microphone. And that was really, we only had one of those. So that we had Michael on the play by play, and you know, so we see how that worked out, and that's how it started. We did one girls game and we used the huddle camera. And then I guess we really wanted to do baseball. So I said, I think we need to get things done now. Like we need this. I did some research. Thank you to the moderators over at WSJP who sent me a long list of the equipment that is used over there, so we could sort of get the right idea of things that we would need. I brought it towards our school president, and we were able to get the equipment that we needed. Following that meeting, I think it was the happiest I'd ever been. Right, I told Michael we had ordered the equipment, and we were able to start doing this stuff. And really, it's just tons of fun. And I don't want to stop there. You know, I want merchandise. We want to make this a club. I've already talked to one of the administrators that will make this a club, and we're just getting people that are interested to join. And really just, I guess it just started as a bond and then ended up with us getting the right stuff. And Michael, not really tech savvy, couldn't set anything up. So it was really just, I would get to the game very early before, I guess we really started with this equipment during baseball season. So I would get there probably 2 hours before first pitch.
Wow.
I would walk right out from school. So I would get done school, put on my backpack. I would say hello to the trainer, walk right out with my equipment, set everything up, make sure everything's plugged in. And from there, I would just sit and watch and wait for Michael. And I would have like graphics ready, everything ready. I took over the Carroll Sports Media Instagram page to make graphics. So it's tons of fun. And that's really our brand. We just kind of want to bring, sort of the attention to sports at Carroll, because it's not too strong, and we've really been successful at it, and people now know when the games are, or they're showing up, and it's a ton of fun.
That's awesome. Obviously, I love bringing the community together. Got to start off small. WSJP obviously will be what I do at St. Joe's Prep. I am wearing the T-shirt. You're wearing the Carroll shirt over there. You can, flex it off your head. But that's something I want to run at St. Joe's Prep as well. I want to be like a big brother. I want to inspire these like schools like Carroll to do. I want to get you guys going. I want to help you guys out, get students involved. That's the biggest way you can help support these clubs. And I think that the more and more involved you get, the more deeper you go into a project. If you're committed to it, it's going to happen. And, it's just a matter of time only. Only time will tell how far your project goes. You just have to be committed to it. Obviously, Mike did a job, passes it down to you, and hopefully in 3 years you'll have someone they can trust to pass it down to. So obviously, Carroll Sports Media, incredible to start up. I'm glad that we're able to celebrate it this whole week and help you guys get bigger, but absolutely incredible in that part. But yeah, I'm so happy that that's starting to run and everything. But
definitely,
hopefully, I'll say plans in the future too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say I definitely had the best mentor in Michael. Just seeing what he's done throughout this year and what he's continuing to do, it just gets more impressive every single day. I could go on for probably hours just speaking about Michael, but we knew something. We knew something needed to be done, and I guess tons of people are scared to ask. Scared to talk to people, and you don't know unless you throw that Hail Mary. So we threw the Hail Mary. We booked our appointment to the president, and Michael wasn't allowed to be there, so it kind of scared me a bit. And but we got our stuff done, and we're continuing to, I'm talking to our tech guy, and we want to continue to get bigger budgets and get a camera or just improve here and there, and it would just be so huge for the sports media. And yeah, we want to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, Nick, as we close this transitioning segment, you know where they could find you, or they could find Carroll Sports Media anywhere.
They can find Carroll Sports Media on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Carroll Sports Media. You can find me. It's in the pop up thing at Nick
Coming out
Mash
right now.
Media. Yeah, it's coming
Yeah.
around. Here we go. There's Carroll Sports Media. You can get me at Nick Mash Media on Instagram, and then I'll be starting a YouTube, and that'll probably also be Nick Mash Media. There it is. It came around. And then Michael, who really started this thing up, you can get him. I mean, he'll talk about himself later, but you can get him at by Mike Live.
Yup, obviously Friday, Mike and I will be talking about covering PCL sports and Philly lacrosse, but we still got to get through the other half of your segment, Nick,
Yeah.
here. And it's another big one. We're still doing some more rankings, and we got to go over our takes on the best college towns. And, obviously there's so many, but, I think that instead of a top 10, we'll do a top 5 to make it a lot easier. And I think, obviously, we'll have criteria what we're ranking on. We have atmosphere, the second's fan base, third's good sports teams, and the location in the U.S., obviously. And I think that for all of these, it's hard. It's hard to pick the best one, but obviously we have to have a number one. So I think that you went first this time. I'll go first, but I'll give some honorable mentions real quick before I start with my number 5. I'm going to mention like the Phoenix metro area for Arizona State. I think, talk about partying. There you go. Arizona State, just your spot right now. They got really big really quickly, and just that Phoenix area is growing with media and stuff, and you just know that's going to be huge. So yeah, Tempe, just incredible area, and all those campuses are just great. I have another special or honorable mention to mention. That's kind of redundant, but hold up, South Bend, Indiana, Notre Dame. Talk about just a great little town, but still got a great heart. It's South Bend. I went there in March. I know I didn't go during like any little sports season or anything. Maybe women's basketball. It's not really like a big sport there as much, but lacrosse is huge there. Football's huge there, and just everyone gets out there. It's just always awesome. That I mention. I will mention your school, Nick, Knoxville. The Volunteers. I know you have it on your list, but
yeah,
did not make mine. It definitely is top 10 though. Just incredible Rocky Tops, awesome spot. We'll see Gavin Heinrichs going there, WCP former president there. Great, and then I'll close off the list. I'll mention about Athens in Georgia. Just Georgia Bulldogs, some of the best sports teams out there, and just Athens as well. Just a great location, not in the heart of Atlanta, but not far from it at all. But I don't know if you want to get some honorable mentions as well. If you're Jeff.
I have one honorable mention, and I just want to let the people know that I did mine really based on college football, while Dom did his really just overall college. So that's why you might see mine and think that's crazy for overall college. This is really college football based. I guess I misunderstood the assignment here, but
You're good.
It's pretty common for me here.
Swimming's important.
Honorable mention A&M. Right, so that's my one honorable mention. Got to put them on there.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, A&M. That will be on my list as well. That's actually my number 5. We'll get to that in a second. But is that all you have? Honorable mentions?
That's all I have at the honorable mentions.
All right, College Station is my number 5 then, and I think that you want to talk about a school that has went crazy. It started with Johnny Manziel, obviously. When he comes there, and then you see Texas A&M joins SEC, which is insane at some point. It's like, oh my goodness, this might be like legit. They didn't trade him. My God, I'm sorry. I'm looking at another ESPN article with the trade happening, but they sent. I'm sorry, College Station's too high, Sorgy. My bad, but there's so many good ones. There really so many good ones. I think it's at 5 just because I think that. Maybe location could kind of stick. Texas is fine. Great atmosphere, great fan base. They have a great football team, and they got a really good basketball team as well. I don't a good baseball team as well. I don't know. I ask Colcoon about that, but I think College Station will start at my number 5. I think that's fine where it is right now. I think that the next 4 are also just great schools, but that's where I have College Station at, Nick. What do you think for
I
Nick?
have at my 5. Sorry, were you sorry?
No, no, no. Go ahead, go ahead. No, what's your
Um,
number 5?
Knoxville,
Well,
Tennessee. I guess sort of self-explanatory there.
that's some home
Again,
bias.
football, but this might be home bias. Neyland Stadium. It just gives you everything you want. I think the fans are always out there. They always hold big time matchups. If we're going off of the criteria, it's crazy there. I mean, there's always music. You're always going to be partying. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know what more to say.
Yeah, I think that Knoxville, great. I mean, Tennessee's obviously great on that part. And talk about sports as well. You got a really good basketball team. You got a really good football team. But I mean, even the Lady Volunteers are good too. Like they always have a lot of good teams, and I can talk about them too. But great college down there. Rocky Top obviously has got its squads, and there's one of them right there. So very good for number 5 there as well. So with that, I'll jump to number 4, and we're gonna stay with the Southern theme. I'm going to Gainesville, going to Florida Gators. I think that it's another fan base that really started jumping. I'm gonna say you really got to see the heart of Gainesville with the Tim Tebow era when that started, and that Urban Meyer built like one of the best football program of all time. It was like, all right, this is like the place to be, and that's something you'll see a lot of with some of our lists. But I just think that it's about how incredible that, like, I mean, games are beautiful. You're in Florida alone. That's always great. Just location wise, you're just in the Florida sun. You have that southern vibe to you. You're just living life. Location's great. Atmosphere's great. They always have a really decent, a good football team. I'm not gonna say great, obviously. Well, they got a good football team. Basketball just won the Natty. Come on now. Like Gainesville is a really good place to be right now, and I think that number 4 is where they're going. The next 3 are always just going to be really up there too. So that's our number 3, Nick. What do you think about that?
I think that's a good spot there. Can't really complain. Got good sports. Fans are excited. I guess I guess it is the place to be right now.
Yeah. So I'll transition to you again. You're number 4. Let's see what that is.
I just want to let you know, on the spot right here, right now, I just switched my 3 and my 4. So now at 4, we have State College.
Yeah. I think
State.
I agree with that. Yeah. I don't know if you have anything else to say about Happy
Fans
Valley.
are always good. I think the whiteouts are always cool there, and I think they just have everything that you're looking for in a college football. Well, I'm saying football, a college football town here, and yeah, it's really all I got.
Yeah, I think they're not a hockey place, but there's something I would say for football. Absolutely, you want to talk about a place that's like really just a football town. I say that September to December, or maybe January too, is when it's always popping down in Happy Valley, and then it really gets dead around like February, March, really. But I mean, football program is always going to be great. James Franklin, you got him as your coach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not a big James Franklin guy, but I can comment on that later. But still just an incredible school. I mean, talking about like their fan base is always loyal. Beaver Stadium is like one of the biggest stadiums in the U.S. I mean, holds over 100,000. That's always great. Always extremely screaming fans. Yeah.
They do have, a decent hockey program, and people
Yes.
do actually show up, for the home games there, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this year their hockey team was incredible. They went to the Frozen Four, I believe, and just normally they'll see teams like BC and another team I'll mention later. I'm not going to touch base on that, another rival in the Big Ten, but no, Penn State obviously. Location maybe is their only downside. I mean, there's nothing outside of State College, like nothing. It's all. I mean, you'll get like hit by hard snow or anything else. You're really in like the Allegheny sites. I don't know, what would you call that part of the U.S.? Like, is it Allegheny? Like, what would you consider that?
I guess so. I don't know. It's really out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's not near Harrisburg. Obviously, it's not even near like Williamsport. It's if you had to go in between Harrisburg and Pittsburgh and go like straight up. It's maybe in the realm of like it's probably like an hour and a half away from Altoona, maybe closer. I'm not sure, but
it's just its own little spot.
Yeah, that's what some of these college teams are. I mean, that's what I'll say. I mean, that might be an interesting take there. I mean, it's not East Coast. I agree, not Midwest, just Mid Atlantic. But it doesn't have that Mid Atlantic vibe though. I feel like it's more like mountains and stuff. Really, I mean, that's the one thing that stinks in Pennsylvania. It's a lot of it's mountains. That's like you go east, it's flat. You go west, it's just so hilly. That's just always fun driving through to go to Pittsburgh and going to the Midwest as well. Just, yeah. Again, good number 4 there. My number 3, I mean, he's in the chat. He's all around. I mean, I got to give it to him. Madison, Wisconsin, home of the Wisconsin Badgers. You know, talk about, like, going crazy. I mean, yeah, there's probably, I don't know, I might be wrong, Anthony. There's 3 things I think of when I think of Madison: cheese curds, brat, and beer. Just, and I know they go crazy there. I know they absolutely go crazy there, you know. Not Buckeyes, Jesus, Badgers, just incredible, you know. They're just, they got a good football program again. Their basketball program is really good. I know Sorge can't count on that because he's a Marquette guy, but, you know, just, my dad was there. He just, between both lakes, Monona and Mendota, but yeah, very good stadium. Jump around's always fun to hear. I mean, the other teams get involved in it, and everyone's just excited. That's, I mean, I'll tell you something right there. The best part is in the Midwest, and that is, it's not going to be my last one. I mean, maybe it's not really my last Midwest school on there, but you'll see one more before I close it out. But what do you think about that, Nick? What do you think about Madison?
I think that's good. I think you just gave Sorgi something to feed off of. Which I don't know is always the greatest, but I think you hit it right on the nose there.
Yeah. All right. Now for you now, I'll turn to you. You said you switched it. It was originally 4, now it's 3. What is it?
Ann Arbor.
All right. Ann Arbor. Okay, another Big Ten school.
Yep.
I think I like that switch.
Michigan, just, I think they bring everything that you want, and I'm not just talking football here. They have a great football program, but I think that was another one of the hockey teams that you were talking about, Dom.
Yeah, they always have a great hockey team.
They have a fabulous hockey team. They're an overall school. You know, they have good fans, and they have good parties. I mean, they're good.
Yeah, and for a state school too, it's also a bit difficult to get in it as well. You know, you got to have some brains to get into it. I mean, it's not very comparable to the prep, but it kind of is, talking about that prestigious thing. But talk about how it's like they got a great basketball program. They got a good football, like a really good football program every single year. They got a really good hockey program. I don't know, baseball, obviously. That's Cole's topic, that's your boy Nick, but no, Ann Arbor, incredible. That's actually my number 2. If you want to just swing over real quick, I mean, talk about maybe location might be its biggest downside, but it really is an incredible school. Just Ann Arbor, always just probably a blast being down there or up there. Where I don't even know where you consider that. It's Great Lakes. I'm sorry, George. That's the Midwest spot to be at. Just. Yeah, as a Penn State guy, it kind of pains me, but it's always just going to be a great school. But Yeah, and for you, Nick, you want to go with your number 2? Who says gonna be really football themed here? You can really see it, but
Yeah, got Harrisonburg, Virginia with JMU.
that's
James
pretty
Madison,
obviously there. Yeah,
they just and I guess I am saying football here, but I guess maybe for all the sports they have there, their fans are so passionate because they're getting this attention now. And you see game day go there or wherever they are, and
yeah.
everybody's
Game
out.
day's the factor for all these.
Everybody's out there. People go there, they have a good time. The parties are great. It might not be a big school, but maybe that's good. Everybody knows each other, and it's really just like an overall vibe school, I guess.
I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's just I don't know. Again, aside from football, really, what else it'd be? No, but obviously, Harrisonburg, great spot. Virginia, I mean, it's a nice, very nice day there too. But always fun to be down there, I bet. And that's why, I mean, that's the thing with college game day. That's really your impact right there. Wherever college game day goes, it's really going to impact the decision. And absolutely. I think that's what you got to say. But anyway, I think we also have the same number 1.
We do, I think.
But anyway, I mean, I can talk about college game day being a factor. Baton Rouge. I mean,
Yep.
it's got to be the best. It's absolutely got to be the best. I mean, you have fans going absolutely wild. The Paul Skeens stuff was even crazier, and they're just going out of their mind. College World Series are like going to get like alcohol poisoning from the amount of Jello shots they're consuming down at that bar in Omaha. But I mean, talk about some of the most passionate fans, and I think it's Baton Rouge.
I think, yeah, that's also my number 1. I think relevancy might play a little bit of a factor here just because they've won, many things just so recently. I guess they didn't win. They did win that College World Series with Skeens, if I'm not mistaken. They knocked off a team in the semifinals that I'm a little upset about there. They won the national championship with Burrow. They've just won so recently, and they have such a rich history, and they're good at everything. Basketball, football, gymnastics, with all the the media attention that they were getting for gymnastics and baseball. Everybody's coming here because they're just so relevant, and they're really just dominating at everything. Even if they're not winning, they're going to be in the playoffs every year. They're going to be in the tournament every year, and I guess it's just so impressive.
Yeah, I gotta agree on that. Just relevancy is the word there. It really is. If this was 20 years ago, I think this would be so different. Honestly, you may not see half of these on here, but just it's absolutely incredible what it is. But I think, yeah, number 1, it's got to be. You're right. It's got to be. There's nothing that's really better than that atmosphere. They're just they're ruthless too. You want to talk about ruthless? I mean, they're pretty ruthless right there.
They have some of the best alumni. We were just talking about that. That bar that they were in for the College World Series. So that they have great parties, and it's really just, I guess this is, it is the best college town.
Yeah. I think if you want to go to a trip to any school and want to feel that atmosphere, you're going down south. Mainly, that's where some of these are. I mean, Texas. I have Texas, Florida, and Louisiana. They're just partying down south. You could say, Nick, absolutely.
And they're in such a competitive school. Everybody wants to be in the SEC.
Oh yeah, just SEC is just. That's what I fear is going to happen soon. That it's going to be Big Ten, SEC, and people are just going to pick a side, and then the NCAA might be like, all right, we gotta change this into something different. We gotta do a division thing. But anyway, before we enter our closing segment. Sorgi wants us to rank his top 5, not in order. He said 1 to 10. There you go. Tuscaloosa, Baton Rouge, State College, Oxford, and Madison. I didn't mention Tuscaloosa, but obviously that's all obviously a great town, Alabama. What Nick Saban has done, just incredible. Yeah, we mentioned State College, we mentioned Baton Rouge, we mentioned Madison. You have any other comment, Nick?
I don't. I mean, there you go, Anthony. Sure.
We gotta rate it out of 10 though. He said he wants a rating out of one out of 10 or something.
All right.
What do we think? I'll bring it back up.
I think he might have missed 1 or 2. I mean, how is Michigan not in there?
Yeah, I think Michigan's gotta be in there, respectfully.
I'd give this like
how about Oxford being on there too, and Mississippi? I mean,
yeah,
that's an interesting one as well. But
they're always big, They're always good.
You're down south, everything's big. That's the thing. They say everything's bigger in Texas. It's probably everything down south is big.
I'd give it like a 7 or 8.
I think I'd be on the same page, 7 or 8. Yeah. Honestly, mine's not a perfect 10. I did this like last minute, but I think that I have some of the best up north, down south. I mean, that's the thing. I think you go. It's not much when you go west, but I think it really kind of doesn't thrive as well. But yeah, that's what that is. Anyway, start closing out real quick. I mean, real quick, we can talk about sports for like just a few seconds. Thunder won the finals. Shea is the MVP. What do you think about that, Nick? What do you think about the Thunder?
Sorgi knows this about me. I've been rooting on SGA for a little bit now, I guess since possibly his trade from the Clippers over. So that's, very exciting for obviously that city and everything there, because they don't have any big sports.
No.
This is huge for them. This is a big victory for the city, and obviously either team that would win, getting their first NBA championship, and yeah.
Anyway, let's touch base on the Pacers as well. I did a poll real quick. Obviously, vote on all polls and stories on on the show's Instagram page at Not Your Average Sports Show on Instagram. Anyway, I put a poll out saying, well, the Pacers never win the finals ever again. And 73% said no, they'll be back and they'll win. What do you think about that?
You got to hope so. Obviously, it most likely won't be this coming year because Halliburton will most likely be out for the entirety of the year, which is unfortunate. Playing with that risk of injury, and it just unfortunately happened, which is not something that really any NBA fan, I think, wanted to see. But I don't think they'll be back this coming year due to that. But I think if everything gets healthy and everything's good, we'll be good.
Yeah, I know we hear the dogs back there. They're barking your name. I definitely hear that. But real quick, we'll touch base. Finally, Phillies did drop their first game of the first of the 3-game series against the Astros. What do you think about the team heading into the future? Obviously, they're pretty solid now.
Yeah, they're not doing too bad. They've obviously picked it up a little bit over the past month or so. I believe they took that series against the New York Mets, and obviously, Dom, I was at the Friday game, but really they've showed some life, especially without Bryce Harper. So I guess that's a positive thing. When will we see Andrew Painter? Aaron Nola out for a long period of time. We still have good pitching, but Luzardo showing a little bit of struggles. Move him to the bullpen possibly and bring up Painter, but I'm not quite sure what they're going to do there.
Yeah, you're right. And I think that's something we'll probably clean up soon. But as for now, that's what we have so far. That's really all the sports world. Tonight we have the NBA draft, obviously. Obviously, so much excitement for that. I know Anthony will be at the draft party for Sorber, but interesting to see some PCL guys going. But any other final comments, Nick, as I wrap this up?
Pray that the Sixers don't mess up the, picking with the third overall. If they don't want Bailey, don't take Bailey. Don't feel pressured. So just say a little prayer that they don't mess this one up. If you can get something good, package it with Paul George. I don't care what you do. Just, make a smart decision. And that's all I can ask for.
That's all I can ask for as well. But obviously, with that, that's the end of this episode 4 of the Night River Sports Show. Finally come to an end. But again, I offer a very special thank you to you, Nick, for joining the show. Always a pleasure. Want to stay posted with Nick's content. You can follow him with the ticker on the screen. Be quick. Hopefully, you can rewind it or something.
There it is.
There you go. And obviously, you want to stay posted with this podcast. Gotta go to at NYA Sports Show on Instagram. For all this polls and everything. Soon we'll have Mike Livingston on the show for Friday, but until then, stay cool. We'll see you Friday, and thank you very much.